So I'm at this workshop, and I asked the question of the group, like I do every time I do a workshop. And, what's challenging? What's holding you back? What's difficult? And one of the main things that comes up a lot is confidence and not feeling worthy, and it's scary to put work out. And I kind of can relate to that, but I've heard it all before, and I've heard a lot of the rationale behind it. And but this one time, we were talking about it, and someone raised their hand, and we were trying to get to the bottom of it. Like, well, what is it? And it's always, there's some art teacher that didn't think you were good enough, or something happened. Usually, it's early in your early years. It was something that undermined you, or you just didn't have a really good launch pad for this, because definitely some people are way more comfortable when they start making art than other people. And why is that? And I'll never forget it. This woman raised her hand, and she goes, "You know what? Let me see a show of hands of the people whose parents hung their art up." It was such a great question. So this is Nicholas Wilton, and this is Art to Life, and I'm talking about how we learn and how we revisit content. I've been teaching the same workshop for many, many, many years and asking a lot of the same questions. But in doing so, you learn more deeply when you go back to it. That was such an amazing question. There was like silence in the room, and it so got at the heart of what so many people struggle with it. Like, did your parents support you? Did they say, whatever you did, this is pretty cool, and they hung it on the refrigerator? It was such a simple idea, and it was so emotional, and it was so moving. I even wrote it down, and actually this whole talk came up today, this whole idea, because I was scrolling through my book here. And that's how I learn, is by learning the first time, but revisiting it another time, a third time, a fourth time. Because what happens is you're different. You go deeper with it. Things happen in your life, stuff changes, and you might have been taught color a certain way. And you might have a set of principles or ideas and a certain way of doing things. But then after a while, if you think that you've kind of got it all figured out and you're moving on to new things, you're missing an opportunity to revisit and go back to what is, and be able to go deeper. It's almost like the goalposts. When you narrow them in, when you limit it, when you make it smaller, you tend to go deeper. One of the ways I do this, and this is how this idea came up, and you can see this is my book, and I write down things that are moving to me. And you can see here, this is this question, did your parents hang your art up? I've had that sitting there for so long, and every time I see it, it reminds me of this idea that I keep talking about the same thing. I've been teaching art for so many years, and I've been listening to stories of people. This one question is so powerful, and this will become a question that I'm going to use, and I'm sharing it with you today because I think it really is a potent one. Great questions lead to really, it deepens the inquiry and gives you an idea about direction and how you can reframe things. So I love this idea. How I process is I go back to what has happened and I write stuff down. And this is how I revisit content, things that have moved me, ideas, and I see them. And then I come back and I see them again, and I think about it again. And then I see it again when I turn the page, and I see it again. And the same kind of thing happens with art. So I thought I would, first of all, encourage you to go back and revisit this year. What are the things that you feel like, even the things that you really figured out, go back to that, to the essence of it, and go deeper with it. And of course, areas where you're not sure or that you have some ambiguity around, go into those areas. making paintings are so cool because there's a visual record of what you've made. So I thought I'd share a few of the things that I've been noticing in a couple paintings that I'm excited about, that I want to do more of, because I look back and I see these things, and I've done this a lot, but there's something kind of energetic about it. And the first one is this little 12 by 12 that I did last year, and having this piece of paper glued on here, this collage glued on here, and I remember doing it. It's got, I work on it separately, but at the same time as the picture. So it's different but similar, and it's made at the same time. And then I glue it on, and it brings this really interesting kind of juxtaposition. So this is a visual note for me. I don't think it's probably that interesting to you, but to me, this is kind of a whole idea that I could do on a larger scale, working in tandem on a piece of paper while I'm working on another painting, and then gluing that painting in. It's similar but different. It's done at the same time. The thinking's the same, but it's done over here on the corner, and then it's brought in, and then it adds to this conversation. So this is that idea. This is coming back in, and every time I see this, I want to go deeper with this. So that's that idea. The other idea that I'm excited about is this, what's happening right here, where I'm applying paint, and I think this was oil pastel, and then before it's even dry, I'm putting paint on top of it, and I'm manipulating the surface so it's breaking through. The idea of material coming through because it's done at the same time, even here, like this is still wet and then there's paint on top. I'm working more and more. It's not wet into wet, but it's wet into almost dry. So it creates this, there's this tension that builds up. So those are just a couple of the things that I'm interested in working on. So anyway, I'd love to hear your comments, what you're going to be going back and learning and revisiting this year. So leave a note in the comments. That'd be awesome. And for those of you who are new here, we have an amazing free artist Facebook group. You can join us in there. There's some really, really cool different stuff happening there. Super excited. Thanks for being here. Okay. Hey everyone, if you found this helpful, I have a whole lot more to teach, share, and inspire you with every single week. So please join the Art to Life YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Okay, great. Let's do this.